Welcome to this week's episode of HashBangTV.
HashBangTV.
HashBang.tv. On this week's episode, we are interviewing the investor Muriel Devillers. So you know Muriel quite well.
Yeah, I've known Muriel for a while now, and I think she's the kind of the guest that we've had on that's got the most kind of breadth of experience and kind of worldview.
Yeah.
She's invested in a whole bunch of European companies. She's always in the US, so really knowledgeable, really insightful.
She's one of the most well-connected people we've ever met.
Yeah, absolutely.
any business idea, she kind of says, "Oh, you need to speak to."
A connector.
Yeah, she's totally a connector. Yeah. So great interview with Muriel. Hello, welcome. And so we are joined by Muriel Devillers, who is a well-known business angel. Correct?
I am.
You are. But I noticed from your LinkedIn profile that your background is about law, politics, economics. You're a journalist. What are you doing investing in technology? How did you get here?
My background is about communication.
Okay.
I started as a PR. Yes, I studied law. Yes, I studied politics science, but never practiced. Went directly to PR. And I'm used to say communication is my blood. So why investing new technology? Because it's a communication world. And that's all. It's the logical path I had to follow.
So our show is kind of predominantly for a UK audience, but obviously you're active across the whole globe, right? So are you investing in UK companies at the moment? And if you are, can you tell us why and how?
I am looking after a UK company I'm linked to. I might invest in. It's a brand new challenge. And on top of that, technology.
Right.
And you might know, I'm a tech dino. I do not understand anything about technology. So don't talk technology to me. But
you're willing to put your money into technology?
Yes.
Interesting.
Absolutely. And supports whatever is bringing us to the future and making the future more simple to use. Once upon a time, technology was something very difficult to approach, to understand. Now, more and more you find application helping you in daily life and making it easier. Whether you're an elderly people, or you need medicine, or you need learning, everything is easier, much more approachable.
Okay.
And this is what I love about technology.
So maybe an interesting kind of insight there, to attract an angel like yourself, the startup shouldn't be pitching technology. They shouldn't be talking from an engineering perspective. They really need to articulate the problem that their service is solving or the value it's bringing in real life, day-to-day terms, right?
Absolutely. Very few of us, business angel, investors, VC, can say at this very day, we understand everything about technology. I'm sorry, this is not possible. And I do believe that we're all human. We need to speak a human language. Make it as simple as possible.
Right.
Do not use very difficult terms that nobody will understand. You're just repelling people. Talk normally, talk human.
And do you find that a problem? A lot of the startups you meet, are they too technical, too kind of engineering oriented?
Sometimes yes.
Right.
And sometimes when I'm asked to assist some, let's say, technology startups, I'm really going into it telling, please guys, make it simple. I don't understand anything about what you're telling me.
Interesting.
Yeah, simmer it down. So what's your sort of investment sweet spot, or what typical angel amount do you...
I'm seeding. I'm really seeding. I'm like a mother in that world. Well, I am, in fact. But for me, a startup is baby.
Okay.
So I'm seeding and I'm helping the baby to walk.
So it's smart money, it comes with your experience,
I'm
but are we
sitting
talking
from-
€50,000, €100,000?
I'm sitting from a range of 50K up to 200K.
Okay.
That's the seeding pattern.
And in that area, have you seen trends in the last couple of years? Can you look forward the next 12 months, not just your investments, but other investments that you hear about? Is it about data? Is it about social? Is it about big data? You know, are there any technical things, not necessarily technical, but use cases that you see being solved? Yeah, that you know you might be able to share with us. If somebody was thinking about starting, what might they be interested in looking at?
And there are trends. The question is, will I follow trends? Not sure. Not sure.
Okay.
It's not because the press is telling me the trend is that I will fall into it. If I do not like an application, or if I do not like that trend, I will not go for it. What I like, I cannot speak about others. As I said, I go to what is making life simple or opening new possibilities to everyone. Like e-learning, I think it's wonderful. When you think and when you see, I'm just back from the States, how many people cannot read? In America.
Really?
In America, with e-learning, they can access it. In Africa, they frog-leaped us. They rushed. It's wonderful to see. M-learning, e-learning, wonderful.
Have you heard of this Raspberry Pi? Have you heard of Raspberry Pi?
I did.
Okay, so that, you know, so there's this $25 or $35 computing device.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And you can plug things into it. So it's a bit like Arduino, but it's packaged as a computer.
Right.
And so, and the idea is that it helps with coding for kids. So getting people interested in computer science. If you can imagine the power of change, if you could apply e-learning onto that platform,
Exactly.
it's totally accessible. The same with, I guess, Android prices of devices. These are the first computers that people in Africa, in rural India, they will get access to. What a powerful change.
It is. It is. And we have been spoiled. We have been spoiled. I say we, in America, in most of Europe, we have been spoiled. We got all the technique, all the new toys, with unbelievable prices, not thinking that other people might not be able to buy them. So now, talking about trends, yes, we have to give to everyone the ability of learning, whether it's a free computer at school, whether it's a very simple device where they can learn all over the world globally. We have to do that. We cannot go on being egoistic as we have been.
Interesting, yeah. So when you bring this kind of international perspective, so in your experience, you know, for startups to flourish, you obviously need an ecosystem, right? You need the investors, you need the kind of accountancy, the legal, you need the kind of, you know, corporate sponsors that build a community. So what's your perspective on how the UK currently compares to the rest of Europe or America? You know, how do you see things?
Well, the first thing I would like to say is, when you have an idea, when you have a project, hold on to it. Number one, just hold on to it. Do not listen to others. What I would like to see are project leaders investing their own money in their own project.
Right.
I mean, we are not there to invest in your project if you do not, guys. You invest, you show us you love your project and you believe in it. If you don't invest, I'm not going to invest.
Interesting. So we hear a lot about the comparisons in Europe, about the risk aversion that we have over here in terms of investment versus Silicon Valley and all that kind of stuff. I get the sense that you don't think that's actually the case. What's your take on?
Well, number one, I love England. And if I'm
that's a
here,
good answer.
it's because it's boiling. It's boiling. It's boiling much more over here than in other countries in Europe.
Right, okay.
It's really moving. You guys, you want to move.
Mm-hmm.
It's clear. You want to make it happen. You have London.
Yeah.
Not only. I would talk about the UK. There is Berlin.
Mm-hmm.
And then give me another place where it's moving, it's boiling. Might be Barcelona, Madrid. There are new projects over there. But all over Europe it's not. I mean, there are places, but it's not a big challenge.
Right.
In UK, yes, I hear everything something new. Reading everything something new. I love it. I love it because it's boiling. Now, talking about risk and talking about Silicon Valley, just back. Let's talk disillusion about the US. Let's be clear. It's beautiful to write about Silicon Valley and huge investment made there. Come on, guys, it's not true. It's not true. It is not Silicon Valley from 20 years ago. People moved. The challenge is different. Startups are mostly coming from Europe and not from the States themselves. Who's investing now? Let's be honest. America? No. We, European investors, are investing within European companies moving to the States.
Really?
That's
So-
interesting.
So what's
We
the
do have a problem over here.
Okay, so what's the motivation for a European company to relocate to Silicon Valley?
Because they think it's easier.
Okay,
And I would not speak about Silicon Valley anymore.
right.
I would speak about the East Coast.
Yeah, New York is hot, isn't it?
Yes,
And
Y
Austin.
Combinator, 500 startups and so
Yeah.
on and so. Yes, they are trying to make it happen
Mhm.
because it's not happening anymore on the West Coast.
Okay.
And that's why they moved to the East Coast and try to make it happen over there. Will it really happen? I'm not sure. Yes, they have the new visa law
Yeah.
helping to move to the US, but let's be honest, why don't we make it here? Why do we need to move to the US?
Right.
I don't see the
I
reason.
think the impression, the feedback I get is that there are a lot of successful people that have exited businesses that have significant amounts of cash that will both mentor and invest at the angel level, the A round level, and that there's money coming out of the air conditioning, that it is that easy. What you're saying is a completely different perspective.
It's totally different. I'm telling that we can perfectly do it here in
Yeah.
Europe, in Africa, in South America, overall, all over as a global place.
Mm.
I do not believe anymore in one place for startup. I believe in
Yeah.
platform,
Yeah.
being global.
Yeah, that's interesting. I mean, that's kind of almost some of the inspiration for us doing this, right?
Yeah.
Because I think part of the kind of secret sauce of the Valley is they've had a very good relationship with technology media. So it's in everyone's interest to write, to blow up the companies in the Valley. And we don't have that kind of thing over here, where you have the media really plugging into startups, bigging them up, trying to break them.
Don't you have Mike Butcher here in London?
We have Mike, yeah, of course.
Yes.
We have TechCrunch Europe.
Yes, but there
TechCrunch
is
has been through
another
some
one,
times.
and I really believe in them. They are based in Amsterdam.
Mhm.
It's called The Next Web.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Let's
there
move
are.
that.
There
We
are.
have it.
And then,
But in the Valley, there's like 15, 20 of these things, right? It's
Good.
24/7, and that's
Good.
something what we need to bring over
But
here.
this is typically American.
Uh-huh.
They know how to communicate. Communication they were born with.
And to add to that, I think, and this is a genuine thing, business in America is part of the culture. Business in certainly in the UK, and I think in the rest of Europe, is very sensible, is very serious. And what we're trying to do here is have a bit of fun, talk about it casually, have a bit of a laugh, and I think that's what, it is sort of, culture is built in over in America in terms of business and fun, and it's infotainment and da-da-da. It seems a bit serious over here as well, and so that we need to embrace that a bit,
We take it much too serious. And especially when you invest in tech, in startups. Come on guys, smile.
Yeah, it's supposed to be fun.
Let's be relaxed. We don't need ties and everything. We need to listen, we need to feel, and we need to say, okay, let's go. That's all.
And that is what exists in
Okay, there is a risk. But in any business, there is a risk.
Yeah, it's interesting because some of the things you were talking about is very similar. We had a conversation with Tony Fish, and Tony was talking about the one thing he looks for is passion, right?
Yeah.
It's you can't teach passion. You either have it or you don't. And if you, and kind of like what you said about if you don't invest in your own business, you're not interested. If you can't get excited about what you do, how can you expect anyone else to get excited about what you do, right?
Go and work in banking.
The word passion is a really good one.
Yeah, it is.
We need to be all passionate for what we are doing. This tech world is a passion for me. I discovered it.
Yeah.
I'm like a child with it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
And developers and project leaders should be passionate.
Yeah. We're so bloody lucky to be doing something that we enjoy.
And I think that's another interesting challenge for the UK, because I think culturally we're quite reserved. You know, we don't like to sing our own praises. We don't like to get up on, you know, with a trumpet and blow hard, you know. Whereas, you know, that's going to be an interesting kind of, can we shift? Can we do that?
You can. You can. Honestly, you can.
Okay.
I believe that the more you are within the rules, stiffed into it, and the more you will give a generation of people shouting for freedom and being and getting it loose.
Yeah. I think it's changing.
It
is changing.
I'm so positive about the future, because the 18-year-olds, the people graduating from university that I interact with, they just get it. It is part of their culture. The technology, I mean, and the business comes with it. So I think
there's this term born global, right?
Yeah.
So it's not this kind of being stuck in your little kind of island mentality. You know, I can only see as far as the next.
Let it be for
village
politicals. Only politic people will say, No. There has been a challenge. There has been movements, especially within the new generations. We all speak the same language. Let's act freely, and that's all.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So to wrap up then, the final question: what is your one top tip for anybody having just started, about to start? What's the one thing that you think you could pass on to somebody?
Give me your passion.
Yeah, it's
Give
passion.
me your passion. Yes.
Excellent.
And you're actively looking to speak to UK companies. So if anyone's watching this, wants to get in touch, we can put your details on the blog.
Absolutely. And I'm in London, in the UK quite often, and trying to do my best with Momo London, for instance, things like that.
Yeah, Joe, we know Joe well. Yeah, so actually Joe's going to be coming on the show shortly as well, so that'll be cool.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, thanks for coming in and seeing us. We
Very
really appreciate
welcome.
your time, and hopefully we can connect you up.
Good stuff. Thanks, Muriel. So that was excellent talking to Muriel. Some interesting insights into different European countries, different investment, the technology scene in different places. So good stuff.
Yeah, and you know, as we said, she knows everyone. So you know, if you want to get connected, you should definitely follow Muriel on Twitter. She's MBBDV. So check that out.
MBBDV.
Yeah.
Cool. So another episode in the can.
Yep.
We're out of here.
See you next time.
Yeah. Bye.